What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at my takeaways from Brad Holmes' introductory press conference with the Detroit Lions. Also, what Sheila Ford Ham and Rod Wood had to say. So let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
And welcome everybody to the video. Glad you guys are here. Hopefully this take goes well. This is about take 4, but I've only got like 30 seconds into it, so it's not too bad. Now, no, I'm not streaming the Michigan game. I feel bad, but hey, I'm watching it. They're playing pretty good. Go Blue. Come on, let's get them. Sorry, Michigan State fans. No disrespect. I mean, maybe just a little bit. All right, so let's get into these takeaways. Now, I'm going to try my best to keep this very condensed because I'll usually go overboard and I'll start talking a lot, and then I'm kind of rephrasing the entire thing, and it's like, why are you doing this? So I'm going to try to do this very quickly, okay? So we're going to start off with what Sheila Ford Ham had to say and also what Rod Wood had to say, all right? We're going to start off with this first one. Something that they said multiple times is that they were absolutely blown away from Brad Holmes. It was the only unanimous interview that they had where they were just blown away. All right, Sheila Ford Ham said at one point they stopped taking notes. Rod Wood said that he's all about first impression. So the first couple minutes, he'll write a little note down. He said that he wrote down, "This is the guy." They were blown away just like that. Do I need to say it again? They were blown away. Absolutely blown away, just blown away. They were so blown away that they were away from being blown. They were blown away from away. Y'all know what I'm saying. Maybe you don't. I don't. Bring in Dan Campbell, and they're also bringing in Brad Holmes. It was a simultaneous move, so it was something that, you know, they did kind of together. So this wasn't where, hey, no one has an impact on this. They said basically there was a lot of overlapping names. They would ask the GM, what head coaches would you work with? They would ask head coaches, what GMs would you like to work with? And they said it was something that overlapped, and I guess it was a simultaneous decision to bring them both in. And it did happen kind of close to each other, right? We kind of got the announcement. I mean, technically Dan Campbell's not hired yet because he can't be, but we did get the announcement that he was going to be next Lions head coach pretty soon afterwards. And hey, crazy, I know, the dude said in the chat, it's kind of crazy. We have our defensive coordinator before our head coach. What? Technically. We're going to get the head coach. We know who the head coach is, but I'm just saying, it's kind of weird. All right, the next thing is this. They also said that Chris Puma will still be working with the Detroit Lions. He's just kind of going to be doing what he's already been doing, you know, kind of being the service, just helping out, just a wide range of things. There's not really a specific job for him. I'm going to go through my takeaways, okay? Some of the major notes. Not all of them, just some of the major notes. The first one is this. It wasn't going to report to the other. It wasn't going to be Brad Holmes, you're going to report to Dan Campbell, or Dan Campbell, you're going to report to Bob Quinn. It was going to be a collaborative effort. Now, I'm interested to see how that plays out, you know, because there was a talking about the power structure and how that will go, but it's supposed to be a collaborative effort. But I actually think it will go pretty well because Brad Holmes basically told us, he straight up told this, is that it's the head coach's vision. He didn't really have any specifics to give away because I don't think he personally has any specifics. I mean, even if he did, he wouldn't say it, but I don't think he does because he said that this is going to be ultimately the head coach's vision because he is the face of the franchise. He looks at himself as like a servant, as, hey, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to hopefully give you the best players that I possibly can to fill out the vision that you have, and we're going to work together on this. So it's kind of a weird approach, interesting approach, that's for sure. Not exactly what I was expecting, but I also think that it's a good thing that he kind of is good with that. Like, he's cool with that role, doing what he does very well, and just kind of going with what Dan Campbell's vision is, working together on this, and hopefully because of that, there won't be any, you know, power issues or anything. I don't see that. I don't see there being power issues because of the fact that he's already looking at it as, hey, I'm here to draft. I'm here to do what I do really well. I'm here to bring in talent for this roster, and we're going to follow your vision. We're going to work together on that. Sure, we'll have some input, but this is going to be a collaborative effort. So, interesting way. He also brought up rapid evolution. Rapid evolution. Now, I'm thinking that's when he's talking about analytics, the technology that he uses when it comes to drafting. So that was something that was huge that Rod Wood and Sheila Ford Ham brought up. They also brought up in the article when they first hired him is that technology, the analytics that he used for draft time is something that they've never seen before. They called it cutting edge. Not giving away the full formula, but that arm's length would equal this, and 40-yard time, and combine, and this and that would equal the player should be a good player or a bad player. I don't know how effective it is. We're not going to get to hear that formula or whatever it is, but it is cool because Dr. Detroit said in the chat, but it actually made me think about it. I actually wrote it down as soon as he said it. I thought of Moneyball right away. I really did, because if you guys have not seen that movie, it's the baseball movie where basically he's doing everything based off of numbers. He's bringing in players for the organization based on this number formula that he came up with, right? And I think it was, I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't think it was just batting average, but it was something, right? It was just some kind of formula that he had to bring in players. And, you know, they went off, they did great things with it. So I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but it's what made me think of. And I'm sure it's got a little bit of a similar vibe to that. Maybe not exactly the same, but a similar vibe to that. Now, with that way of drafting and that approach to potentially a formula, something like that, he also said to him, talent's very important, but the most important thing would be the intangibles. Now, what are intangibles? Well, intangibles are like perseverance, hardworking. He brought up passion. His number one is passion. It's that. That's what the intangibles are. That's what he's going to be looking for in a player, and we know that's what they look for in a head coach as well. He treats the players very well. Someone that's very well respected. I mean, that's kind of what they're looking for. They want that passion. They're going to get the energy from the head coach spot. They're going to get it from defense coordinators, from now GM Brad Holmes. And that's the kind of players that they're going to be looking for, okay? So he's got his own little way of drafting, and then that's the first trait that he looks for is passion, intangibles, the intangibles. He says intangibles are the separator of success in his mind, because he said everybody's great and talented, but the intangibles are the separator of success. So some good stuff here. Get some juicy stuff here. I said goosey. Juicy stuff here. He did say that he would like to build through the draft. And I think the obvious reason is because, well, that's what he does. That's what he does very well. We talked about it. Mike Disner's role is a little bit larger now. Take a little bit pressure off of him so he can focus on managing the roster, building the roster, drafting, which is what he's good at. And I actually like this approach because if you think about it, they're not trying to make him do too much. He's a first-time GM. But they're specifically sticking to what you do well. What he does well is he finds talent. All right, that's what he's known for. He's known to find talent. So he's going to go with the head coach's vision, and his job is strictly to bring in the talent and help build the roster for that. I think it's going to work. I mean, he seems very humble to me. I mean, this guy is very excited. I mean, he said the pinch me moments when he got to go back in for the second interview. I felt happy for him. I mean, he really did. Knows what his role is, and he's going to take his role, and he's going to do the best that he possibly can. He said whatever role he had, he just focused on being the best at that role when he got that opportunity. Coming into being a scout, back when he was a kid, I guess he skipped school to watch the draft. Hey, I see you on that one. Hey, my boy, skip school. Hey, don't skip school. You'll get Fs. I don't know if you'll get Fs or not, but just don't. You can do it if you want. I don't know. Are you going to be allowed to or not? He skipped school for the draft. I guess if it's for the draft, it's okay. I mean, I'm just saying. I ain't mad at him. Question with Matthew Stafford, and we really don't have an answer here, to be honest with you, but I'll touch on basically what he said. So what I wrote down is that he liked Matthew Stafford's talent, his competitiveness, and just the way that he kind of goes out there and plays. And what he talked about was something that he mentioned later when he's talking about passion as an intangible. That's kind of how he described Matthew Stafford. We know he's like that as a player. We know how passionate is, how much he wants to win. That's kind of what he said about him. But then he said, well, but I have to go through everybody on the roster because he said we are looking to improve every place on the roster. We have to look at everybody on the roster, and he hasn't talked to anybody on the roster. So I don't think he has really an idea of where they're going to go with this. I don't think he knows what he wants to do with Matthew or where they want to go with this. But I think, again, he wants to talk to Matthew to see where his head's at, obviously. But again, I think it's one of those things where it was kind of a simple answer. I don't think he knows because it is the head coach's vision. Remember when Sheila Ford-Ham said the coach will decide? And now he's saying he's basically the servant to the coach. It's the coach's vision. So until we hear from Dan Campbell, we may get some more information. I don't think he knows exactly what they want to do with specific things like that. I think for him, he's there to go with what the vision is and adjust to what it is. If it is keep Stafford, which I definitely hope it is, then he'll adjust for that and he'll make his moves for that. So I think for him personally, he doesn't really know. I mean, he hasn't even, the head coach hasn't even got there yet. So they got to get on the same plan. They got to get on the same page with everything. The good thing is he said he knows about the draft really well already. Most of the players in the draft, the majority of it. So he's going to be ready to go when it is draft time, which is exciting. But again, that's what he do. He do the draft. So he should be really good. I think the draft's going to be fun. I know he's ran the boards for the Rams, but now he's the guy. I think the drafts are going to be fun, man. What if we had like an insanely great draft where we just got some absolute studs? What if he bounced around his trades? I mean, it could be fun this year. I'm really excited now for draft time, sitting at number 7. Hey, they haven't been in the first round the last 4 years, so it's going to be different for him too. Plan is to compete in 2021. When he was brought up rebuild, he said, let me kind of, turn that to retool, not necessarily rebuild. He said his plan is to compete in 2021. And I've said this before, as it should be. He said it's basically not, I don't know how long it's going to take, to rebuild this. He said we're trying to compete in 2021. And I think in the NFL, now that you're going to play 17 games, but still, with only 17 seasons can change so quickly. A few plays can decide a game. A few games can decide a year. And with only 17 games, every game matters in the NFL. That's what's so exciting is every game counts. You gotta show up. If you don't show up, your season can flip just like that. Look at Arizona, man. They're thinking, oh, we got a playoff spot. All of a sudden, boom, they're not even making the playoffs. How does that happen? Chicago jumps in. It's every game counts in the NFL. And we saw flashes this team. Oh, hey, they beat this team. Oh, they look pretty good. And then they come out and they look awful. It's like, what the heck just happened, man? But I feel like that's the NFL. It's every game counts, and seasons can flip. That's why you see teams go from bottom to the top, top to the bottom. That's why you see lines 11-5 one year, next year 1-7 start. You'll see a team that's in the playoffs, the next year they'll fall to the bottom. You'll see a team that's last in their division, all of a sudden they go win their division next season, because I think that's how it is in the NFL. I mean, realistically, there isn't that many. I don't even know if I can name an NFL team that I said there is no way possible that in an offseason they could get into the playoffs. I mean, honestly, right? I mean, is there a team that I don't think there's a team in the league that I could say that for, to be honest with you. I mean, Jaguars. You never know. They hit on Trevor Lawrence. Maybe it happens. You look at the Jets. It could I mean, I could see realistically almost every single team that could just go one offseason and make the playoffs. Does that mean there'll be a Super Bowl team from the worst team in the league? Not necessarily. But you can compete just like that. So I've said it before, like the talent we have now, I think will look better when we have a better staff, when we have better coaching, when we have players fit in better, getting the most out of your players. They'll look better. You know, guys that you have will look better. Certain guys that maybe we're thinking could fit the role, maybe they'll fit the role. Maybe you'll bring in new pieces. But with the right coaching staffs, things get better. They do. They're not the same. No year is the same. One year to the next is going to be completely different, especially when we're talking about a complete overhaul in staff. Okay, so I love that he mentioned that. He said, look, we're going to try to compete in 2021, as he should. As he should, all right? This is the NBA. You ain't playing 80-plus games. You play 17 games now. You can compete just like that. You can flip the script, and I completely, wholeheartedly believe that you know, that's just how an NFL season goes. I mean, things change so quickly in the NFL, and they can easily change. So I was talking about Doug Peterson when he was in offense, when he became the offense coordinator. They're 1-5. All of a sudden, he becomes OC. They win the next 10 games. Well, what happened there? It's the NFL, man. A couple plays change a game. So take it week by week, 17 games. All of a sudden, man, you change your whole season around. So I completely agree with that mindset. I mean, like I said, I always say rebuild, I think, is a mindset. And the reason I say this is because, well, you call rebuild whatever you want. But if you think rebuild is just trading away your quarterback equals rebuild, then that's fine. But just say what it is. It's trading away your quarterback. For some teams, maybe that helps them right away. Some teams, maybe they take a step back. For us, based on what we saw in the past, it would mean taking, well, probably not winning a single game because we're so bad everywhere else. But just because we were bad offensively, running the ball and playing defense last year, doesn't mean we're going to be that terrible next season. Does that mean we're going to be first? No. But it doesn't mean we're going to be that same defense next season. I mean, things can change quickly. That his goal is to bring championships, be a championship team in Detroit. He finished it off with one pride. Obviously, you know, look, this guy wants to win. And I love his stories. I mean, I know some people didn't like him, but I love his stories when he was talking about, you know, it was his uncle and, you know, how, like, he talked about how the Detroit Lions fans, you know, they show up. You know, they have ups and downs, but they show up all the time, and how excited he was for that, and the fact that he was drafted to the Lions. What do you call him, Uncle Ruffle or something? I don't remember Grandpa Ruffle. I don't know what he called him, but I thought it was great. I like his stories because I felt like you got a really personal view on how he's looking at things and kind of his mindset. But he looks energetic, he looks exciting, he looks confident. Yeah, he was a little nervous up there. I'd be nervous as heck too. Yo, I'd be like, like, what's wrong with that dude? Is he okay? I'm good. I'd be sweating and stuff. I think he handled it pretty well, man. And I think, you know, he'll get better as time goes on in terms of that. But you knew what he wanted to say, right? I think he's ready to go. He's prepared for this. And, you know, I don't know if he's going to get his all. Hopefully it works out. They bring up no egos. And he also said trust the process, which had to make me laugh. I'm like, oh, gosh, Philadelphia, don't trust the process. But he said trust the process, and he thinks the fans will be happy with the results. So, yeah. Oh, and what's his bold plan, right? What is his bold plan? Well, he said the bold plan is basically bold moves. The process is trusting that process that he has. So the process and bold moves along the way that equal the bold plan. So he said there's no move that he's stepping in and say, this is the move I got to make. So his bold plan isn't step in, do this one thing. That's bold. He said it's going to be bold moves, big moves through the way, but through the process. Smart moves, calculated moves through the process. So there's going to be big moves along the way. There definitely could be, but that will equal a bold plan. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm just excited for football, man. Let's just get this thing started. Can we start right now? Can we do the draft tomorrow? I mean, hey, I'm ready. Not really. I still got a long wait, a lot of players to learn, but I'd do it. I'm down. Like, I'm happy for him. The guy gets to be a GM, right? I mean, hey, it's like a childhood dream, right? I mean, hey, you watch the draft. Oh, man, I love this. I love watching the draft. To be a GM is... Just give him a little bit of clap. Congratulations, Brad Holmes. I'm happy for you, man. Let's go One Pride. Let's get this dub, man. Let's get this thing. Let's have a great offseason. Let's go into the season. Let's forget the past. Let's have a great year. Let's why not? Who said we can't? No one. Did someone say Cleveland can have a good year? Nope. So they did. So why not? Why not us? It's true. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.